I have really been wanting to declutter the house, so I'm just going to take you along with me as I find different things to declutter. This container was holding bags of loose leaf tea, and now it's not anymore, and I'm not going to repurpose it. We're just going to declutter it. I have this swimsuit that came from a thrift store. The bottoms and the top is the same size, but I'm a different size on the bottom than I am up top. So this piece just is not going to work for me. This little glass dish that I have tried to repurpose a couple different times, it's just too small to hold a tea bag and a spoon, and I can just use a little plate that I already have. So I'm going to declutter that. And then this pop socket, we paid $5 for it at TJ Maxx, and it is just awful. When it works, it's great, but when it doesn't and it comes undone, it is just not good. So we're finally getting rid of that. Once I'm done reading this book, I will get rid of it. I don't keep the books that I read, I just declutter them. This is a really good book so far. I am almost at the end of it. I'm this far through. We're on page 172, and I think it has like 220 pages. So this isn't going in the bag yet. I've been reading it today, but I will be getting rid of it once I'm done with it. I do recommend this book. It's really good. This stool is going to go to, it was in this house when we first started renting it. I've used it for a couple different things, for helping paint the house, for helping my camera focus, but it's just worn, and it's just another surface that honestly, it could collect stuff. So I don't want a surface that's going to collect items. We're going to get rid of it. Something that might surprise you is I don't keep every single thing that I get from Betty's box. I do set aside some things that I do like, books that I want to read, pictures that I like. There's even this little thing over here that I cut from Betty's box. So I do keep quite a bit of stuff, but others I donate, give away. This is one of those hard ones because it's a fantasy self item. It's a journal, and I've never loved my handwriting, and I've always loved the idea of filling out these types of journals, but every time I keep one, I just don't use it. So I need to get rid of this. It's a fantasy self item. This one I'm going to read through and see if I do enjoy it, if it's something that is useful to me and my walk. If it's not, I'll get rid of it, but this one I do like because you read it. You don't write anything in it. Okay, some more things that we're getting rid of. Some cups, like a bunch of them. Different books that just aren't the appropriate age for my students, and I might give these to a different teacher. These I used a ton when I had Allison Tink, my first girls, but honestly now we do more of a scatter feed, so we'll probably get rid of this. This bag that my dad and his girlfriend got me, which I really do like, but I don't use it enough. So I think we're gonna get rid of it. Hi Daisy. And then this little bottle of lavender, but it's definitely not pure lavender. I got this at TJ Maxx, so we're just gonna get rid of that. It's a different day, and I wanna share with you the state of our house. This is a pile of donate that I've accumulated. We went through the storage room together, my husband and I. He had a day off from work. So I'll go through a little bit of that with you later. I have a pile of cookbooks that I went through, and these are the ones that I'm keeping. We have some recycling. We have to bag our recycling, which I don't love, but it's something that we need to do. We have a bin right here that is my husband's like keepsake box that we just created. Stuff to go out into our outside storage unit. There have been things that we've needed to go through since after we got married, like old taxes and just old important documents, and we finally did that. It was just stuff that I didn't even know was necessarily sitting around. There's two things on my mind. The first being that when I see stuff that we're not using and it's around the house, that is something that I mentally think of as clutter, and is something that I need to like take care of. My husband, on the other hand, he sees the clutter when it's all together. And so he got stressed in the decluttering process when we started making the piles. He started to see how much clutter we had. The second thing is decluttering is a way that I think I cope with and control anxiety or other things that we can't control. And one of my goals before I go back to school and start teaching again for the fall is to have a home that is minimized and doesn't have all this excess clutter. I didn't think we were gonna get this much stuff in the 2 boxes that are over there, and I was surprised. Half of it's just that the house is messy, and the other half is that we have stuff that needs a home or doesn't have a home or needs to go. I think we measured the house a while ago, and it's like 750 to like 780 square feet. It's a small home, it's a trailer. But one of these days when we move, I feel like things will almost appear more minimal because not everything's sitting everywhere, if that makes sense. But at the same time, I don't want to take clutter that we won't use into our next home. I'm out of words. All right, let's get back to it. This plant was in my classroom, but with COVID and everything going on, it's just too big for our house. So I listed it on Facebook, and one of my husband's relatives is actually going to be picking it up. So this has a new home, which makes me so happy. It's a beautiful plant, but it's way too big for our small house. I want it to get the love and attention it needs. So I got this from Betty's box a while ago. I don't even remember what month it was, but it's from Christian Art Gifts, and it's a notepad, and we use it all the time. Well, I found my teaching planner from last year, and I am going to use the note section that is left and cut out part of it so that it can become extra notes for this pad, because we're almost out of that paper. And that will help me to reuse this instead of just wasting it, and it will prevent us from buying more of this before we actually need more. Sometimes decluttering is about finding other uses when possible. It's not always possible, and it's not always the best option, but you kind of do what works for you. Like this one, I was thinking about how I could cut it this way, and then I would get double the amount, but the lines are going the other way, and that just doesn't really help for what I want it for. So we're going to do it this way and kind of make it work. Okay, there we go. Now we have double the amount of notes that we would have had. It is day 3 of this video, and we finally have some quiet around here. My landlord does a lot of like truck driving and stuff, and so oftentimes there's a lot of noise out there. But I wanted to take this time to kind of show you what I have, what I'm getting rid of, either donate, gifting, and we'll see what happens from there. I want to load all this in the car. Maybe I'll find more after. So some of this I already showed you. This is not donate. That needs to go in the dishwasher. We have a pot in here because we already have one. Some cards, a frame, this random bag my husband kept. It was in his box of stuff. I don't know why he had it. It looks like a case or something. A vehicle mileage and expenses, some games, a ruler. We have like an accordion file folder. He decided to get rid of those. Finish Hunting Hope. Peter and the Starcatchers is a book that I thought I was going to really like. It's by Ridley Pearson. I do like his Kingdom Keeper books, but I couldn't get into this. This I also couldn't get into with the writing parts. We talked about the journal before. I have this basket that worked at our old house, but now it's too big for this house. We have this mug that has a light up holder, and then we have some meat injectors for spices. Oh, and this vacuum that I bought in college that was literally like $15, super cheap. It was just what I needed for my dorm room. So we are putting all of this into the car. It's going out of the house. I know someone's going to at least mention or think of the zucchini. It's from our garden. It's been a little unattended with everything that's been going on. Yep, we have 2 really big zucchini that we need to do something with. Guys, look how cute. We have them in a space pod. And Daisy just heard me. Hi, Days. Hi, honey. I was just going to donate the dehydrator that we got because we don't use it. But then I thought I'll go ahead and try a Porch Pickup because someone Porch Pickup our plant, and we now have $15. So I'm wearing a glove because I just got it. And we have some quarters in here as well. So definitely do Porch Pickup. if you can. I find with COVID, people tend to be okay with porch pickup more. They used to want me to deliver to them because we're in such a rural location and they didn't want to drive the 10 extra minutes out of a town over to us. But now I'm finding people do. So I think we're good in the house for things that we can sell, but there's definitely stuff in our storage unit that we can list. But I feel really good, $15 that we didn't have, and we got rid of the dehydrator that we use like once for lavender. Okay, we are on like day 3 of this declutter with me / something video. So I'm gonna show you some of the stuff that I've been doing in the kitchen and some decisions that I've made with my husband. Our dishwasher is usually housed next to our rat cages that we don't even really use anymore because they are in a room. But I was talking with my husband about possibly getting rid of this because it won't fit under it. Just cutting this part down and then putting the dishwasher in here. He said that the microwave could go up in this area. We already put this piece of equipment, the food processor, up here because they were all just out and down over here. And Jenna, I'm thinking of you because I know you said you keep your area super organized. Well, it made it a little bit messy, but we really don't have that many containers, so it's okay. And then we still have like flour, popcorn over here. We went through our spice cabinet together, and these are the ones that I'm gonna give to my sister. These are gonna get donated because we don't use them. I don't think we've used them since our first year of marriage. Here I had a bunch of oils and vinaigrettes that we hadn't used in such a long time, so I got rid of them. We have coffee filters now. We will switch to the metal basket that's reusable once those are gone, but there's like how many in here? 200. I feel like it was like 1,000, but there's 200 in there. So it's gonna take a while. Olive oil. I eventually want to get a spray olive oil too, so that when these are gone, we can use that for a reusable like spray oil. Look, it's an area that you've never seen before. Yeah, this is our storage room. It's not very interesting. Anyways, this was kind of a jumbled up video of decluttering and also like reorganizing. I feel like sometimes it is just so important to reorganize a space, rearrange it, and make it fresh because we're living in this super old trailer. We're eventually going to be moving over to where our landlord lives right now because he's building a house over there, and we're kind of gonna like flip flop. He's gonna take down the trailer, give us that space to rent until we buy our own house, which I don't know where we want to live, what kind of house we want to live in. So we're fine with that. That being said, you shouldn't hate the space that you're living in, even if it's like a dorm room, a childhood bedroom, if it is a apartment or something that you share a space with, or a house that you don't love. There are ways that we can find joy in that space, and we can find that like rearranging might create a whole different atmosphere. At least I find that to be true. That if something feels a little off, declutter, reassess the space, get some new things, or even don't get some new things. Nothing I got was new. Everything actually went out instead of getting in new stuff. And then we're just rearranging. I'm very thankful that my husband's a handyman and can saw that thing and put in the dishwasher. That's very helpful. I probably could figure it out, but probably not. I don't know. Anyways, guys, I will see you next time. Make sure you subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed it. Until then, there's a video on the end slide that is picked out just for you by YouTube. Bye, guys.